I wish I was contacting you under better circumstances, but there's a grave situation in Metropolis. Doomsday is back, and worse than ever. My cousin, Superman, is taking him on, but needs help. The Justice League is off-planet dealing with an emergency, and all comms are down. While I try to locate them, can you head to Metropolis and back up Superman?
The situation is dire. I've been coordinating with Star Labs to maximize response times. I'll keep tabs on their progress if you can be my eyes on the ground. Go talk to their lead researcher at Ground Zero.
Hello, welcome to another exciting episode of DC Universe Online. I'll be your host today, Water Tips, and we have a very exciting special new anniversary event that just aired a couple days ago. Today's the 18th, it appeared on the 16th. It's called Death of Superman Part 1, based on the anniversary, part of the anniversary. It's a 3-part particular episode of an anniversary that airs over the next couple months. This is Part 1. So basically, join me for this exciting ride. I'm going to give you a tour of the special thing. I'm not going to show you all of the different little missions inside of the world that we're going to bring, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about a few of the things that you have to do in the mission, so it'll be an exciting run. I do want you to experience it for yourself. I will give you a tour of it. So what you want to do is go to your map. You just see Supergirl just talk to you. So you want to select Doomed Metropolis Part 1.
The situation is dire. I've been coordinating with Star Labs to maximize response times. I'll keep tabs on their progress if you can be my eyes on the ground. Go talk to their lead researcher at Ground Zero.
So what you want to do is go into the central hub over here. Look at your map in the corner. Here's where Doomed Metropolis is. Here's the portal. Here's the vending machine.
Hello, combatant. The authorized number of trading marks can be exchanged for sections of state-of-the-art combat equipment.
As you can see, there's a vendor outside the portal where you go to Doomed Metropolis, which is where the special anniversary of the Death of Superman will be taking place. Basically, as you can see, this is all the main man gear that's available. It's a Lobo-inspired gear. It requires basically the Superman marks that you need, and 20. And then you also have Neutralizing Agent, Doomsday Plague, Probiotic, basically based on boxes. Kind of the same as most boxes you have there. This is basically what it consists of right here. And again, just so you know, I guess you could call it kind of a small spoiler. Most of this gear in this thing is just for stock collection purposes only. This is not a stacking of any by any means or anything to where you can actually gain CR. It's just a style-based thing. So if you are looking for that, you might want to continue to do the Starro things. But this is for the style. But there's still plenty of fun things coming up. So let's go ahead and head inside to the portal. As you can see, this is the very small open portion world, or it's actually fairly large to be honest, of the Doomsday or Doomed Metropolis. As you can see, the Daily Planet. This is the portion of Metropolis that I guess was unbottled, and which they did here. As you can see, there's a few agents here and there. You'll notice that there's a lot of help that's needed. Let me go ahead and check my settings and just redo this real quick here before we get started. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and talk to Star Labs researcher layer.
This is terrible. I'm talking a contagion situation here. Doomsday seems to be patient zero and is leaving a wake of victims in his path. Use this device to collect any traces of the spores for analysis. Also, avoid Doomsday. We don't want you infected too.
Okay, so as you can see, it's rather visual layout, so we have to go ahead and see, this is acquire infection containment unit, which is right here. You'll see like little eye goggles, looks like a full domino mask. You want to select it. And as soon as you do, this is what you have to do. You have to lose it. We require infection containment unit. You use the power trade ability to collect sample of Doomsday Spore Cloud 7. So you have a fairly unique couple of abilities that you use. This one is to contain it. This one's to heal yourself. And of course lastly is to turn back to yourself. I'm not going to show you everything, I'm just going to show you what you basically do. As you can see, we're going to fly across here. Here's a good look at the area. If you want to see the Daily Planet, we're going to look at that in a few seconds. I'm just going to go underneath here and fly across to show you some more of it. There's the Doomsday Spore Cloud. You gotta push the button on here, square to contain it. That's how you do that. There's 7. I just got 1. Once you complete that, you head back to her to complete that mission. As you can see, I pushed circle to turn back into my regular form, but that's for that particular mission there. You want to go ahead and contain the different gases there. There are various missions that will be available once you get this one done. Just like in the Starro mission where your first time, you'll be able to do various missions. I believe there's a... Just like the Starro, there is a particular mission where you have to get a certain amount of enemies or a number of enemies you have to just complete by destroying LexCorp or the troops, which is I believe a mission called 99. There is also of course the Doomsday mission itself, where you have to go and repel Doomsday out of the city, keep away, and Superman is trying to fight him. I will fly and show you a few things in a minute, but I'm just telling you about the missions right now. I'm just starting, so I'm not going to show you the whole thing because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. Of course, I know people want to know about certain things. I'm going to go ahead and just tour it for you, and then let you experience it for yourself. That's a little example you have, a little sample you have of the mission. Here's the other vending machine. This is the other one where you do the same thing. You select it. It shows the Lobo mission or the Lobo inspired gear. It's the same thing as the one outside, just inside in case you don't get the outside. Like I said, just to keep a big note, this is only just the Inspire Lobo gear. It's not stacking. It doesn't raise your CR by any means. It's just for collection purposes only. So if you do want to raise your CR, you may want to do the Starro missions or other missions that do involve raising your CR if you're low level, especially like myself. The character's still fairly new yet, so that's something you want to do if you're not interested in that kind of stuff. Anyway, moving on, you got that to be done. There's various missions. There's also a special ambush mission, which I'm going to fly over here and show you real quick. If you look on your map, you can see the little exclamation point. That's where Ambush Buck is. You want to talk to him.
I've been trying to collect all my favorite comics featuring my good buddy Superman. At least, the ones not featuring yours truly. I've got all the comics I'm featured in already, don't you know? I have reason to believe that the missing issues of Action Comics, Superman, Adventures of Superman, yada yada yada, are going to be sitting around this section of Metropolis. What an amazing coincidence. Go and collect those comic books. Pretty please?
As you can see, it's called the Lost Collection. Ambush Bug has lost some of his most important Superman comic books in Doomed Metropolis. Lucky for you, he knows the general idea of where he was when he once lost his each issue. So you can see what the marks are called is called tributes, and you get Impact Crater box for doing a whole collection, the comic book stacks. So you select a mission, and then as you do the missions, it says to locate different magazines or different comic books, starting with Superman number 14. Go find one. I'm going to go ahead and locate one just so you see what it looks like. The comic books. Here's one right here. This probably isn't the one, but on your map it'll show you where to go. This is just one of the comic book stacks you collect, and when you select it, it'll tell you about the comic book. This particular one says this is the first appearance of Superman and is considered by most collectors as the most sought after and treasured comic in the world. Currently there are very few original copies left in existence. So as you can see, these little stacks of comic books are just something that you see around the world. If you collect all of them, you get a special reward, like you said, a tribute, and of course a large box of stuff for your base. And that's pretty much it for that. There's also investigations and collections based on Kara and Superman's backstory of Kara talking about her cousin. Very interesting. I'm going to go up and fly up here real quick so I can show you the Daily Planet. This is actually a very tall building. This is the original building, if you remember, in the actual regular world from the beginning that was bottled, and now it's unbottled. So let's get fly up here. As you can see, it's very big. If you go kind of skim around the other side of it, you can tell that they did quite a bit of good job on working this into the game. Really excited and happy about this. Here's the first investigation right here, or one of them, I should say. This is one I'm trying to show you.
Once, a long time ago, I fell during a great crisis spanning infinite Earths. Kal-El had to deal with losing me. He even carried back my body. Years later, somehow I returned. I swore that if anything ever happened to him, that I would do the same.
Let's go up to the very top. I think there's another one up here. I'm just going to get into a collection for you, just so you know where some of these ones are, in case you have a hard time finding it. As you can see, there's one up here.
Cal always told me I was better than him. Stronger, younger, sort of. Faster, and able to synthesize solar radiation quicker. I never really took him seriously, even though he meant it. I just hope to have his strength of heart to make the same sacrifices.
If you go down here underneath the Daily Planet statue, right below here, there's another stack. I think this is a different one, of course. World Without a Superman. This trade paperback compiles the final moments of Superman in his first battle with the rampaging alien behemoth Doomsday, and the fallout that takes place as the world comes to terms with the loss of one of its greatest heroes. I will mention this is also one of my favorite comic books ever in history that I liked. I was buying all the comic books. I do own this issue to the Superman, a few other ones, and they are worth a lot of money nowadays, just to say. And if you haven't got a chance to read it after all these years, it came back in 1990. I want to say between 1990 and 1991 to 3. I don't know the exact year, but some history you might want to look up. But it's definitely something to read. It was a very impactful story with Superman, being that nobody could ever just defeat him, and finally some villainous character like Doomsday came to Earth and destroyed his town and the city and Superman himself, and the Justice League, of course. It's a very interesting story. So, and we're gonna go ahead and fly down here where Lois Lane is. As you can see, there are a few updates to the characters and whatnot. Lois Lane looks a little different. Jimmy Olsen also does. Well, he's just kind of the same, but Lois Lane's got a new, kind of a dimmer look, but still kind of nice. Purple coat, like jacket, kind of thinned out hair. Still a very good update. Also, if you can't see my other videos, the other videos I've done, there's Boost of Gold. Different ones fly down, I believe. I think sometimes it's Fire, sometimes it's Power Girl. They'll kind of fly down top to Lois Lane and fly away. See? Anyway, that was what I finished saying is, if you haven't got a chance to look at my other videos, I forget which one it is, but check out my subscribe and link to it. And I believe Supergirl's looking at Watchtower is also different, including Doomsdays. There are a few other missions that you can check out to see the different looks the characters have now because of the updates. Also down here, if you look, notice there's a little Superman looks like a little block Superman's S emblem. Once this is available, you want to go ahead and select it, and you get a new artifact, which is called the Omega Hedron, which is something Supergirl kind of gives you as a gift to say you might need this, and you can use it throughout this particular Doomed Metropolis. And of course, Lois Lane too. Talk to her, and I get the mission to where you can actually fight against Doomsday. I'm going to show you a little bit. As you can see, if you see on your map, Doomsday is located by a huge skull on your map. There he is right there. Superman's kind of being chased by him, and he's trying to lead him away from Metropolis. And that's exactly what you have to do by using the probiotic. By taking it, you can actually help prevent yourself from getting killed from that huge purple aura around Doomsday, and able to repel. As you can see, people fighting him right now. I'm trying to do the best I can not to get hit by the cloud, because I think you can get killed very quickly if you're consumed by it. But that's what you do. Then once you successful, you repel him successfully. He dooms Doomsday, and you get the marks,
said this job would be easy,
tributes,
but it's
and
a heck of a lot easier with
other
heroes
things,
like
of course. That's probably one of the biggest parts of this whole Doomed Metropolis, which is very interesting, is repelling Doomsday away from the city, so that you save people from further harm. Of course, Superman, as you can see, is very wounded in battle. He's exhausted from fighting Doomsday this whole time, and Doomsday just won't give up. And that's pretty much a good look at
Ready
it.
to get back in the fight.
That's going to be a particular thing you don't want to do by yourself. Like I said, you want to have a huge group of people and go in there and do the whole thing in a group, almost like a raid, because it's kind of hard to take all by yourself. That's one of the other things you can do. And like I said, that's pretty much all there is really to it. There's the collections, things like that. If you fly around, you'll notice certain characters like Fire, I believe, needs your help with aid, all these various missions. And like I said, it's just something you're very to look forward to. Here's an investigation. I'm going to collect it so we can give you a more look at one of these investigations before we head out.
I don't know how Doomsday could have gotten here to Metropolis. The last time I saw him was in Kandor when my mother, Allura, imprisoned him in the Phantom Zone. Not even Doomsday is powerful enough to escape from there. None of this makes any sense.
And as you can see, that's pretty much the Doomed Metropolis thing. It's just like any other, almost like any other thing, like the Starro event, which I made permanent from last summer, except it's here to stay. Like I said, if you do remember, some of these the gear unlock is available now too. If you go into your style menu, I believe it was before this even came out, where you can go into your styles, and depending on what you have, as you can see, there's using marks of or replay badges, you can unlock certain styles as long as you've already collected it before with other characters or missions or feats. You can unlock them as long as you have replay badges. So don't forget about that. Also your materials, stuff like that, just in case you didn't know. But yeah, like I said, this is definitely an anniversary type of thing. This thing's never been done before. There are 2 more parts coming. I believe it was a preview. I haven't seen anything about. I didn't see the preview. I'm not sure exactly when it came out. I heard it was supposed to come out sometime around the same time that this actually aired a couple days ago, but it may be coming later. I don't know. I haven't heard any word of it on YouTube or in the forums, so keep checking about it. It's actually a very big preview. I'm not sure how long it is exactly yet because I haven't heard too much about it on the forums. But it's a preview on the raid of the Part 2, which is the Death Suit Man Part 2. You want to go and check it, and I'll try and see if I can get a video on it if possible. So keep checking. Like if you subscribe to this video. Like I said, it's very exciting. I'm very excited to get started with it, and like I said, it's something that I think it will be remembered from many years to come, even on this game. It's been out since 2011 till now. So if you haven't got a chance to do this special Death of Superman Part 1, get into it, grind it, get your things done, get your styles from Lobo, and just have fun, enjoy it. It is a very fun and interesting thing. I'm glad they came out with it finally. It's definitely bigger than any anniversary I've ever seen before, and I think it's good at Daybreak, and I thank them for doing what they can do with this game. And there's still more to come, like I said. And just again, like I said, I know I mentioned this a couple times. This is just a style collection for the Lobo-inspired gear. It's not anything that will stack. So if you are looking for something to do that's going to help you with your CR and level up, like myself, and all that. This is a clamped instance. As you can see, I'm 230 CR, which I'm actually 52 or so. So you may want to do some other missions that do, like the Starro thing, that do get you up where you want to be. Otherwise, do enjoy it. Make sure you subscribe and like my videos. I want to thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy it. And just keep following me, Water Tips, and have a good day.